Hello, in this episode we do a walkthrough of our Y61 Nissan Patrol. Show you how we set it up for camping and a few of the modifications that we've done.
I'm going to do a little walk around on my car. So it's a 2013 Y61 Nissan Patrol. We've chose this because of the not the independent suspension, but the coil suspension, which gives you a lot more comfort and ride, and gives it a fair bit of natural flex in the car too for when you need it off-road. We've had a few little modifications done to it. One thing, a couple of these metal pipes instead of the rubber pipes, so they're not going to wear out. We've got silicone pipes here and there and everywhere. Got the house battery, which is just an AGM battery. Seems to do the job most of the time. We've got all the electronics that go with that. Fuel filter there just to get rid of any crap out of the fuel system. That's the voltage relay for all the battery things, how that works. We've got diff breathers for when we're going through deep water. The engine, gearbox, the transfer case, the diffs all get quite warm while you're driving along, and if you hit a puddle of water or you hit a deep patch of water, the temperature cools down and it sucks air and water into the gearbox and all those parts, which you really don't need. So a set of diff breathers just means that the air can escape and come back in, and it's up nice and high out of the water level, we hope. So it's fitted with a snorkel. We've had the snorkel checked to make sure that it is watertight in the air box. If they do fit a snorkel from the factory and it's not sealed, it just means it's collecting nice clean air from way up high. But if you've got the whole system all nice and sealed, then you can put the car through sort of pretty much any depth of water. We'll probably show you that in the clip. And yeah, so the snorkels is going to keep your engine nice and dry. So it has a Tilix kit, and the engine's been dyno tuned at Power Curve Performance in Nambour. And a 3-inch exhaust system just to help it breathe a bit better too. It's been fitted with the bull bar, which is or the Nissan genuine one. We put a driving light on there. Not that I drive a lot of night time, but it does help a little bit. Fitted with a worn winch with a nylon winch cable in there. That's the red one there. The red cable. That's just to get down a bit of weight, and they're nice and flexible and light and easy to carry, and you don't tear your hands to shreds with the broken bits of wire. So that's pretty much the engine and all that sort of thing. Shut that. Rose did that when we were on Cape York. So that's the only bit of damage we got on the car, and that was when we went down Palm Creek, and Rose didn't make the turn on the other side of the creek bank and hit a stick. And yeah, you'll see that in our Cape York episode 2, I think it is. Yeah. So have a look out for that one. Let's have a look in the car. Got sand collection mats, and they collect a little bit of sand anyway, a lot of sand. Now, don't worry about getting sand in your four-wheel drive. It will happen, but that's what vacuum cleaners are for. Okay, let's move around to here. So our in here, that big cavernous space there, that's where the back seats usually sit, but I can unbolt them, slide in the this little shelf that I've built, and the toilet fits down in there. Then my box of accessory bits and pieces will go sitting on there. My air compressor will sit on top of that, and that all just sits nicely in there, so I can get to the air compressor really easily. In here I have some recovery stuff. So there's a snatch rope in there. I've got another box further in which has got tree protectors for the winch if you've got to hook up to a tree somewhere. There's a winch extension rope in case you need a longer winch, and there's another snatch strap in there and a couple of the turnbuckle things as well. Now here we've had a bed extension built, so the whole back of the car can be used as a bed if we need to, and I've got self-inflating mattresses that will sit in there. So depending on where we're going and what sort of camping we're going to be doing, if it looks like inclement weather, we can camp inside the car. If it's just really bad, we don't have to set up anything, we can just go to sleep in there. Chuck all the baggage on the front seat and beds are there. So that's the bed extension. They're held down with these straps, and with the there's another set of straps in there, and there's these special little metal frames. Now this was all done by Outback Touring Solutions down in Caloundra. Excellent job they've done. I'll show you more of what's in there. So there's a little slide-in table, so they collapse up and they actually go, that actually goes in under the big drawer system. And carry a couple of camp chairs. The camp chairs and table normally sit, I just normally keep them sitting on top of there, and they're all strapped down with hockey straps just to stop them rattling about.
Just show the picture of the...
Yeah, that's our kitchen set up a little bit messy at the moment. Now I've got a rubbish bag on the back, and that's, I only keep recyclables in that. And the reason for that is last time we were on Fraser Island, we used to put the rubbish in there, and a dingo come along and decided it was going to get to the rubbish, and it actually ate through the side of the bag. So now I don't keep anything in there other than just, you know, the empty cans. So that's what that's there for. So in the back here we've got the big drawer system, huge cavernous space which got all sorts of things in there, cutlery, crockery, cooking gear, dry foods, all that sort of thing. That closes up, and this slot here is where that little table just slides in, and I can pull the table out and it's self-supporting, and we can cut up, you know, make sandwiches on that little table set up and then slide it away. And if I need to, I can pull the whole lot out and the table comes out with it, and we can still get to all the dry stuff there. And the little table just locks in, and I just drop that little pin down there. We've got the Evercool fridge. So it's a 40-litre fridge. Plenty of room in there for all our stuff. Yeah.
Beer, definitely.
Yes, essential supplies. Yeah. Okay. Now, I'll just show you down on this side is where I keep spare gas bottles for the little cooker. Just sit neatly down in there. I've got the electrics, so that's for lighting and stuff as I need in the camping area, and other lighting just all fits neatly down in there. In here I've got, that's drinking water for the day. There's 3 litres in that bottle there, and on the other side of the car I'll show you we've got some more. I've got this little pipe here which is connected to a big water tank on the inside of the car. It sits in behind the back seat, and yeah, I just switch a switch on and I've got water pressure. So that's set up for when you need to hand wash or whatever.
It is drinking water though, isn't it, Carl?
Yeah, if you fill the tank with drinking water, you can drink it, but sometimes if it sits in there for a long period of time, it may not be that safe. I do have another pipe fitting on the other side, which is just gravity fed, and that's great for hand washing if you're using the kitchen out the side of the car there. On the other side of the car here, I'll just let you have a look down. So I've got this charging station, and that's got the switches for there's some lights that go around the door and around here, so I've got brilliant lighting out here. I'll switch that off again. And in here is storage space for another 3 litre bottles. So that's 12 litres of drinking water that I can carry in these bottles here. In behind that's an inverter, so it's a 2000 watt inverter. And eventually I may have to put a lithium battery in there. That's probably next on the shopping list, but I got to talk to the Minister of Finances about that. So that all just sits together. Got the little Victron Energy thing here which measures that we've got 12.65 volts, and that's because we've got it hooked up to the solar panel there. So it's been charging all night. Well, not all night, but
all morning since the
yeah,
sun
it's been
came
charging since the sun came up this morning, which was a beautiful sunrise this morning. So we've just hung it up in a tree there. I can hang it up on a strap or whatever we want to do. Okay, round the back end of the car. So I shut that up, and the car's had a what we call a quarter chop. So we've taken all the plastic and other bumper bar bits off. We've had this steel bar here made by Star Crew. Now Star Crew are in Yandina. He's just a young guy and he does a lot of four-wheel drive stuff. He's done the rock sliders as well. I'll show you those as well. But Star Crew, excellent job. There's my little reversing camera down there. And of course he's built these tyre swingaways as well. So I've got the Max Tracks, well, not Max Tracks, they're sand tracks anyway. So that goes in there, that clamps up, spare wheel there, and another one on the other side there. So we carry two spare wheels, yeah, in case you need it. So around here, okay, inside, there's the other side of the bed, and we can load stuff up in there. I've got a little, it's one of those little cheapy brass monkey fridges there, which will go down to -18. So I can run that on freezer, and if we're going away for a few days, we prepare some frozen meals. It'll hold 4 or 5 meals in there frozen, another couple of defrosting in the big fridge there. So we can be away for a whole week and survive just on prepared meals if we really want to. Down in there is where I keep the solar panel when it folds up, and another one of the little portable stoves. And in behind this is storage space for more bags for storage of food. So there's a billy down in there as well. Yeah, there's miles of room in there. So all we're missing out is, you know, the seats that can carry kids. But I'm
not carrying kids.
I'm not carrying kids. No, I'm 70 years old. I'm not having any more kids. That's well and truly done. I'll have grandkids anytime, but
they're not coming camping with you.
But not coming camping. No, they can come with their parents if they want to.
Yeah.
Hi, Louise. And that's the other side of the car there. So now here we've had these the rock sliders built, and that's done by Star Crew as well. Now when they first built them, there's 2 bars that go along there, and there was a big gap between the two. And my wife's got pretty small feet, and I could just picture her putting her feet down in between there. And if she happened to do that, getting out of the car, instead of standing on there and a foot slips through, I reckon it'd break a leg. So Star Crew were good enough to put me onto a fellow who wasn't far away, and he put these aluminium fills on there, so it works like a side step, but they're actually performing as a full-on rock slider, and they've been used several times before as well. So camping, we've got the 2 awnings. Oh yeah, so I've got a couple of these swags and the swag stands, because I'm not 17 anymore, so I find it a little bit easier just to get out of bed and be able to sit up, and that's a lot easier for me and Rose, of course, and of course Ray too, who's come with us on this trip. So I've got awnings out each side. We did buy this awning because it had a tent that fits underneath it, and it
come out of the shade, Cole, so I can see you.
Oh, it had a big, it's got an awning tent that goes underneath it. We tried it once when we were on Fraser Island, but because we'd driven through some muddy puddles and whatnot, where the door opens up into the side of the car, there's the wheels and there's all the smelly mud, and if you've got cow dung and all sorts of things, and that's what we found was the only disadvantage. So we really don't use that tent at all. We've got the other awning on the other side of the car, and I've actually got one on the back here as well, which will open out this way. When we got the car, those big 270-degree awnings weren't really a thing, but I may change that at some stage, but I just find this works for me anyway. If I only want to put out a little awning, I can do that, and they don't take much to put up. So that's the car. Yep, Nissan Patrol. excellent vehicle for doing whatever you want. It's a very capable car for doing quite serious off-road. It's had the 2-inch lift in it. It's got bigger tyres on it. They're 32s. We didn't go 33s or above. Maximum we're allowed in Queensland is about a 50mm lift in the suspension, and we can go up 2 inches in the tyres. I've only gone up 1. We tow a 19-foot caravan, so if you go up too big in the tyre, it means you've then got to re-engineer the whole car and do brakes and reduction gears and whatnot. So the bigger diameter the car, the less torque I think it is that is powered, you know, from the engine, and your car can struggle a bit towing a caravan uphill. So that's why we've only gone the 32s on this one. But 32s just gives it that little bit of extra clearance for doing the good tracks. So that's my car. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think.
Puppy, Nanny Rose is going to go and drive through Nolan's. Bananas!